Hi everybody, how are we doing? Matt from Hannah Fields, back with a monthly market garden update for early autumn. It's the 1st of October today, and it's certainly feeling more autumnal here on the gardens. Leaves are falling, a bit more rain. It's looking very vibrant and green though, and we're certainly into a time now of transitions and enjoying the harvests of all them summer delights that we planted back in the latter part of spring. So let's take a look around the gardens and show you how we're shaping up. So I'm going to start here on our what is pretty much our salad leaf bay all year round. This is the third lot of salad we've planted in here now, and it's various varieties of different salads that we plant, and it's all doing well. It had a bit of a stump in the summer. It was really warm down here, and a lot of vegetables they either stopped growing or just stunted. But when it started to cool down and we had a bit more rain, our salad started to grow again, and it's becoming vibrant. And yeah, it's cooling down, like I say, and that's a great time for salad. Salad doesn't particularly like the heat, so by salad I mean lettuce and that sort of thing. So now it's cooler, it's certainly going for it now. And we've been putting in a few Asian greens along the way just to fill in the gaps. So things like pak choi and salad rockets and mizunas and frills and all that sort of stuff. That will start to fill this bed in over the next sort of month or two. And as you can see here, this pak choi, that was sown, what, 6 weeks ago? And it's already ready. 5 weeks and you're good to go with pak choi. It's a great crop to sow at the end of summer to enjoy that first early autumnal crunch. So salad's doing great now, which is really good. And I'll just take you over to what we call the pond bed and show you how we're shaping up. It's mainly second plantings now, and I saw a lovely little surprise, I say little, down here yesterday. So these are cauliflowers, and I was expecting these to crop maybe sort of mid-October, so maybe in a couple of weeks time. But I noticed that yeah, we've got a couple coming ready, and I thought I'd show you. So as you can see in here, we've got a nice lovely crown. In fact, that needs picking now. It's not quite opening up, but I give it another day or two and it will. And that's the thing with your floral sort of brassicas, things like cauliflowers and broccoli. As soon as they've headed up, you've only got a couple of days to pick them before they start opening up and flowering. So something to consider if you're growing things like cauliflowers and certainly, like I say, broccoli for the first time. So yeah, oh my word, I've just noticed that one. So that one's already opened up, look. I've not been on here for a couple of days. So I can still eat that, that's fine. Don't know whether you can see down here. You know, I certainly wouldn't sell that, but I would certainly eat that. That's fine. So if they do open up, still cook them and still enjoy them. So yes, cauliflowers early. And then more second plantings down here, which was mainly beetroot and lettuce at the beginning of the spring. But now it's an abundance of sort of brassicas, really. I mean, look at these Swedes. They're doing wonderful. Nice and big and fat. These were sown at the end of May, went in the ground sort of like 3rd, 4th week in June, and they just chug away now. And I mean, these are pretty much ready. We could eat these, but we'll save them in the ground for an autumnal picking, sort of late in the autumn. And we've got turnips and spring onions in the gaps, and then in the gaps again we've got some giant sort of Spanish radish for sort of November time. So lots of autumnal crops here, brassicas that sort of, you know, grow well together. You don't have to, you know, space them out too much. They don't need a lot of room, so it's great just to put all these sort of little brassicas together. And the same with the turnips. They were sown May, and some of these are ready now as well. I always find things like turnips and Swedes, once they're in the ground, they really get going. So that's our second lot of Swedes. Our second lot of turnips of the year, and they're ready to go. So yeah, this bed's doing great. And like I say, it's all second plantings, apart from our courgettes, which have got a bit of mildew on now, but they're still cropping, they're still firing out one or two. So we'll just leave them in. I've got no plans for that sort of space this year now. All I'll be doing is pulling them out and mulching it over, ready to plant in next year. So I'll just let them stay in and continue to crop until the last courgette gives us some harvest. Okay, I'll take you into poly number 2, as we call it. And yeah, second plantings in here really as well. We've still got some delights of summer, but we're in that transition period now. Now we're into sort of like early autumn. So the tomatoes have pretty much stopped watering now. We've cut all the tops off, and we're just going to let these sort of ripen up on the vines. I normally pull our tomatoes sort of mid-October to late October, depending on where we're at with the plans for the year. These are going to come out around about the 14th, 12th of October, that kind of time. So yeah, we'll just let them continue to ripen up for us and catch them last delights of summer. But I'm already planning ahead, and as you can see here, I've started planting some rainbow chard, some mizunas, some purple frills in the sort of gaps between the tomatoes to give them a couple of weeks head start in growing before we take the tomatoes out. So they would have had sort of 2 or 3 weeks of growth, and I always find you get a little bit of a sort of tickle of harvest. You get a little bit more harvest for your money before this stuff slows down for the winter. And second plantings again over here. So these are our early autumn kales. So these are in now, and then I've just sown a load of kales last month to go in various spaces. I've actually put some of them in now, so I've already got that overlap in place. So kale is a popular vegetable down here, so when one lot finishes, I've always got the next lot ready. So our outdoor one, for instance, is coming to an end in the next sort of month, and this one will be ready to pick when we get to that point. My plan A stroke plan B cucumbers. Our cucumbers, our main crop, we thought we were going to lose them to spider mites, so I sowed some extra ones. And I thought I might as well plant these anyway because they're here and I'm not using this space. But yeah, it was a shot in the dark. I don't think I'm going to get any cucumbers off them. Might get 1 or 2 if I'm lucky, very lucky. But yeah, just leaving them in to see if they do anything. I doubt they will though. It might be getting a bit too cool now and the humidity's changing. Just waiting for the last of our peppers to sort of ripen. These are sort of ripening off now. But again, planning ahead. So while the peppers are ripening off, I'm filling in the gaps with spring onions. These may crop as we get into November. If not, they'll overwinter, and that's great. Speaking of more crops at the back here, our carrots. These are ready. I'm just leaving them in now. And as we need some carrots over the autumn and early winter, we'll be picking these. And my little snatch crop of carrots. These are starting to do well now, so I had a sort of metre square. And yes, we'll start harvesting these as we get into sort of December. I'm hoping these will be ready for Christmas. That's where I'm at with my timings. And the grapevine. We've been picking kilos of grapes off this. This is proper sort of grape harvesting time now, end of September, early October. So these will be giving us plenty of sweet delights over the next couple of weeks. They've done marvellously well this year, the grapes. Year 5 for the grape, which is a good year for it to be well established and give us plenty of fruits, which is what it's been doing. Okay, poly number 2, similar to poly number 1 really. Tomatoes are all on the vines, just sort of ripening off. Again, we've stopped watering and planting stuff for autumn and overwintering. So down here I've got frills and mizunas growing, and we're putting in some lettuces in the next couple of weeks here. Once we've taken out the cucumbers, which we'll be taking out in a couple of weeks, again mid-October. And yeah, been putting things in like corn salad in between our sort of spring onions and peppers, filling in gaps, so having that overlap constantly. When what crop finishes, your next crop's already had a couple of weeks of establishment in the ground, ready to give you harvests that little bit earlier. So always trying to gain time where we can. And similar down here really. So as you can see, there's crops in now underneath our tomatoes. So we've got some kale and we've got some spring onions and some more beautiful rainbow chard. And again, all these gaps will all have sort of overwintering lettuces like Valador and Grenoble Red and all that sort of thing. So yeah, that's all doing marvellous where I want it to be. And squashes, these are just sort of hardening off in here for a couple of weeks, and then we'll store these. If not, you know, obviously we sell them. A bounty crop this year, really well. I think most plants have given us sort of 4 to 5 fruits, which is great, but it sort of sums up the year we've had in terms of the sunshine. We've had lots of warm weather, so all the warm loving crops have done great. And I'm not going to moan about the heat. I'm a big fan of the sun, love the warmth. So yes, always happy when the sun's out. And speaking of happy, I'm certainly happy with this bed. So wasn't too sure how we were going to do. So this is purple broccoli in at the minute amongst our second lot of beetroots. And yeah, it had a slow start again. I think it was down to the heat, but it's starting to grow now. And this will just tickle over the winter and give us a nice harvest as we go into sort of April time. And then I had a bit of a gap down here, so I put a snatch crop in of beetroots, which are sort of golf ball sizes now, so they may give us a late harvest over the next couple of weeks into sort of November. So that's all grand. And then slowly chugging away at the back, we direct sowed parsnips, which were put in about a couple of weeks after we put our first lot of beetroots in, which are pretty much gone now. As you can see, it's all sort of parsnips now. So I just direct sowed these in between the gaps, in between the rows of our beetroot. And as soon as the sort of space became apparent for them, they just started to chug away, opened up their leaves and took advantage of the space. And these will crop about November time, or they'll stay in the ground. Parsnips are a good one to sort of, like, you know, as a staple, just to leave in the ground once they've matured. They don't mind the chill, they don't mind the cold. You know, if it gets icy and sort of -5, -6, leave them in. It's like having a fridge outdoors for your veg. Yeah, this is where the squashes were, all gone now, all cleared, as you've seen in the polytunnel. And yeah, we'll just leave that and use it again next year when we get into sort of like April, May time again. Few gaps where our French beans were, so I had some leftover kale, so chucked them in. And this is our batch of rainbow chard that served us well this year. It's still cropping heavy, it's done well, even with all that heat. It served us wonderful. We've had many harvests off this rainbow chard. It's a great staple to grow if you've never grown veg before. I'd recommend this as one to go for first, because you get so many harvests of it and it's just an abundant crop. So yeah, this will just continue to harvest hopefully for the next couple of months, and then it will slow down as it does every year, and you know, sort of sit there over the winter, and then it'll grow again in February and sort of seed in April. That's the normal consensus for this, as is the kale. We sort of plant these out at the same time, the kale and the rainbow chard. Again, many harvests. It will slow down and probably give us a tickle after the winter before it flowers in April as well. And yeah, what can I say? It's been an abundant crop, just like the rainbow chard. Always recommend growing kale, again, if you're a first-time grower, because you're just constantly picking the leaves and get many harvests. Speaking of many harvests, runner beans, these have been absolutely sensational this year. I've never grown runner beans this abundant. Might be the varieties, might be the heat. I think it's more the weather and when we planted out. So these didn't go out to the end of May, and we've had kilos and kilos of them. And as you can see, it's still got plenty of flower left on it. These are pretty much brand new flowers, so unless it gets really cold, this will continue to crop for us. And I've got a freezer full of runner beans, as many as you can imagine. And yeah, they're still cropping well. So there's no reason, unless it gets really cold in the next few weeks, why runner beans shouldn't just continue to crop. Okay, I'm going to finish off on our main bed, which is mainly second plantings, and second plantings coming into harvest. So some of our red cabbages, which were planted out in sort of June, these are hardening off. These are solid now. They're only small, they're only sort of that size, but yeah, pretty much most of them are ready, and ready maybe a few weeks early. I was anticipating these ready in October, sort of mid-October, sorry. And yeah, they've harvested, sorry, I can't get my words out today. They have cropped and ready to be harvested any time now. So yeah, these will be going on our veg menu shortly. And speaking of crops ready, our leeks are ready, and what I'm probably going to do is start selling these over the next sort of couple of weeks. I normally like selling these sort of mid to late October, but they're ready, they're fat, they're done really well. And we've had this netting on pretty much the whole time since we planted them out after our potatoes had finished in June. And yeah, a great staple crop to grow, and these will stay in the ground for the winter period if we need them to, and just pick as we need or pick as we sell. So yeah, really happy with the leeks. Probably some of the best leeks I've grown. Again, I think it's just down to where I've put them this year and the fact that we've protected them, and just the right conditions weather-wise as well. And I'll just finish off this video down here. So Brussels sprouts, they've not grown massively, but they are starting to fire off some Brussels now, which is great. This is where our main carrots were this year before we planted these Brussels, and we planted these, as you can see, they're not big either, Savoy cabbages. Some of them are starting to wrap already, some of them aren't, so I'm not too sure what's going on here with our Savoys, but I've never grown this purple Savoy cabbage variety before, so I don't actually know how they're supposed to perform in terms of when they start to wrap and when they don't, but yeah, it's all new learning, so I'm just going to keep an eye on them and see if they crop as we get into November, which is kind of where I thought they'd crop at. So overall, we're doing really well down here. Really happy with how things are. Like you can see, most of this is second plantings that is ready now, or we're into second and third plantings, getting ready to harvest later on in the year. So everything is doing where I want it to be. It's doing well. So yeah, that's pretty much the growing space for early autumn down here. And I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe to this new channel. My name's Matt, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Lots of love. Take care.